How do people who drink at restaurants come home? Driving under the influence, walking, Ubering, having someone else come pick them up, taxis, and buses. DUI arrests are made every day in every community across this country, so this is one possibility. Edit, due to several asking. For my experiences, I am speaking of the USA only. Last stats I saw showed around 1 million arrested yearly for DUI in this country. This is for both alcohol or drugs. You are probably under the legal limit, pretty okay to drive if you have 3 drinks over a leisurely dinner. My dad feels very strongly that you shouldn't have even a single drink drive, so he only drinks at home, or when he visits me in my city with public transportation. But way too many people drive buzzed. If breathalyzers were standard on all cars, Uber would have way more business. When I worked at a restaurant every day, I would see literally everyone blasted at a table, and then they stumble off and drive home. At a restaurant, I assume they are eating. You can have a drink or two with food and be fine to drive. Quite literally, drink responsibly. Know your limit and give yourself time for the buzz to fade. If you can't drive, always have a backup plan or DD. Edited for spelling. You do so responsibly. It's no excuse for the people who think more than 2 drinks during dinner is acceptable, but you pick something that won't mess you up, have water along with a beer or whatever, and set yourself a hard limit. My husband and I switch off, although he thinks I'm the most adorable thing to sway around when I'm drunk, so he lets me drink more often when we're trying to decide. Neither of us are big drinkers, so we know it's not going to take a whole lot to get us buzzed. If we both decide to drink, we stay home. These are hard set rules we do not ever break. Just a thought, not condoning Dewey, but I bought a OK breathalyzer. I admit I was drunk when I bought it. I was heavily surprised what some drinks, and it would read times I felt impaired, and not drive might be a 0.05 and I'd have my wife drive. I have also seen 0.16 and feel slammed. Crazy when you watch Dewey stops and sees 0.25. Also crazy alcohol effects for fast drinking vs slow and steady. Empty vs eating a meal. Drunk driving is bad. But honestly, the one that gets me now is weed. 3-4 days a week, one smell, 1-2 cars blazing. So hard I smell it in my car. It's 5:30 a.m. on a weekday, creeping into rush hour. A good amount of people can have a drink or 2 with dinner and be fine to drive. We drive. You're just are careful about how much alcohol you have at the restaurant. Best advice I ever got on this. Don't drive to the drink. Then you never have to make that choice. You must not get out much. People drive home from restaurants and bars after having multiple drinks all the time. I'm not condoning drinking and driving, but that is a fact. You can have a couple drinks, not be drunk, and be able to legally drive. Uber. It's called drinking and driving. You can have a drink or 2 and drive. You can have 1 drink an hour. It's not like you have 1 beer and you're drunk. As a Swede, these comments are baffling. Even if you only have 1 beer or 1 drink, you don't drive here. Either you have a designated driver, take a cab or the bus, or walk or bike. I grew up in the restaurant industry. The answer is that usually they drive. If you're lucky, they let you call them a cab, or I guess nowadays an Uber, but that's after my time. They drive home, some of them drunk. I could probably do 3 drinks over 2 hours with some food and still be safe to drive. I wouldn't even be buzzed from that much. 99.9 just drive home regardless. That's just the facts.